further, we put out a new video every Friday night for our Spooky BAT-Talion. If you're new here, welcome to our craziness. And if you've been here before, thank you so much for coming back and watching us. So let's get right into it. Let's roll. Oh my goodness, you guys, here we are for another edition of this week's Spooky Review. And we are going to be talking about The Wretched. Wretched.
It reminded me of Watch Me Squirm.
And watch me squirm. Cheers. You guys are going to have a fun weekend.
You don't have your spooky cup. You have your fun Winnie the Pooh's. And
Yeah, I think I'm gonna wait until October to do my spooky cup. For some reason, it wasn't feeling
you're getting
like
excited. Yeah.
it wasn't
You
feeling
get
like
excited
time
by
yet. I mean, I have a
September.
lot of other stuff going on in here, and I also want to point out I got this really cool hoodie. Salem Broom Company, so cool, and I will be wearing that in another video, I'm sure, but I wanted to bring that in because I got some new stuff. And I bought these things, and I thought that I got ripped off because I bought it and it was supposed to be local, like online, and all of a sudden I saw it coming from China, and I've been ripped off before when this happened. But thankfully, thank you, universe, it showed up. I got my stuff, and I'm so excited and happy with my spooky clothing. Moving on. So, The Wretched. This movie is very interesting, and I feel like it's very fleshed out. Like, this felt like a very fleshed out story to me. I was involved the whole time, and this story is about, first of all, it was made in 2019. It's about a teen who's going through this horrifying experience of trying to like save his family and other people from this evil ancient spirit. And the part that was really interesting to me is this ancient spirit was like a nature god.
yeah, some kind of almost a little Wiccan, old pagan,
Yeah.
Wiccan, but Wiccan.
Are you Wiccan?
Pagan, like something, nature entity, right?
Yeah.
Or beast of some sort.
Yeah, and there's a family dynamic in this. You know, it's really focused on the son and his father, and the son is coming back to, you know, his house, and he's clearly there's a divorce or a separation going on with his parents.
It's the formula. It's the formula of
Yeah.
some of these movies, right?
Yeah.
Someone's separated, divorced, and one of the kids visits one of the parents somewhere. So you see there's some kind of trauma, emotional trauma of something. Right?
And there's a girlfriend, and then there's the kid
So they
who's
meet, you know,
trying to
it's the
be
typical,
cool, but then he's loyal to his mom, and he's torn, right?
Yeah.
So we see all of that, but what we also see is he's very observant. And usually I don't like watching movies with teenagers in it. I just don't, I guess because I raised mine and I'm over it. Right? So, but this one was different because he was a mature young man. He was, you know, on the verge of being an adult, and I didn't mind his character.
I think because he seemed mature.
Yeah.
He had some fight in him. Too,
Yeah,
right?
he
Like,
wasn't a stupid teen too that gets portrayed, right?
Gets bullied, because
Especially
some of
in
these
horror movies, right?
You have these type of movies. You'll have.
This is definitely a suspense thriller
Yes.
too. There's definitely a lot of jump scares. There is some violence in it, but it's not too bad. It's not like, it's the kind that I can handle. I can't handle straight up like violent gore type of stuff, but there is some violence in there. I did feel like the storyline was pretty fleshed out. I remember one of the things that I, at the end, that I thought, because I can't give you too many spoilers about this story. Clearly there's this fight. The antagonist is this spirit, this nature spirit creature, and she basically uses females as a host. That's the most spoiler that I can give you without telling you, you know, anything else. And he starts witnessing things going on with his neighbors, and he's really trying to save the little boy next door. Okay, so this is kind of the way the story starts, as he starts witnessing,
Observing,
witnessing
weird
all
things.
these weird things. And the weirdest part of the story is that he realizes when he's concerned about the little boy, he knocks on the door and the dad answers. And the dad is like, what? I don't even have a little boy. But you can see that he literally has no he has no memory that he has a child. And this is where the story
Yes.
really gets kind of sinister, and you see what he's doing to try and figure out what's going on, because he's truly worried about this
That's
child.
where near the end, it got me because it confused me. But you were able to point that out. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, that's right. I'm like,
There's
oh,
a twist in
there's
the
some
ending.
twists. There's a couple little twists more to the movie, because this movie could have been easy like a 2.5-hour movie. They
Yeah.
fleshed out more of the material, the historical significance. I wish
I
it
would
had
have
more
liked
of
to
that.
see more of the actual creature, not just the creature that was existing inside the
Yeah.
the people that it consumed.
But they threw it in. Remember, they threw.
They
one
did
little
throw
thing,
it in. We got to see
one little, quick little phase, a shot of a sentence in some old book or something, right?
Yeah,
And that's
it happened
That's
so
it,
quick,
nothing
you guys.
else.
So in the very beginning, I would even say in the very beginning, when they're kind of leading you into the story, you're going to get kind of this folklore book, and they're going to give you a little snapshot of this creature, right? So we already know that it's like a monster type of movie, right? I would say pause it, rewind it, and take your time reading and listening to what they say, because we saw it, but I found
I think
myself
we stopped it, didn't we?
I find
to read
myself
it?
at the end. Yeah, we paused it, but I still, because I didn't know the significance of what it was going to turn into, I feel like I wanted to go back and spend more time like really pausing it and trying to
Yeah.
read what was on that page. So one of the things at the end of the movie was that I really wished that more time was spent on telling us more about the creature.
Yes, I want to know more about that.
I wanted to know more about that because I thought it was interesting. I felt like there was almost, I could say, two characters that we could have known less about in
Yes.
order to spend time
fleshing that part
fleshing
of the story.
that part of the story out. Because sometimes when there's too many storylines going on and too many personalities that they're trying
Character
to
building.
right, like you don't need to character build on every single character if they're not really going to have that profound of a role. You can really put more time into the people that we want you to, like if I'm writing a character, when I write a character and they're going to be in the story and I want you to be attached to them,
Yeah.
I'm really going to flesh out that character. But when you have a big storyline, like in books you can do that, but in movies you can't necessarily take every single character in the movie and flesh it out, because you have to tend to, what is it called, the plot. You have to tend to the plot of the movie, and you need to be able to make sure every character that is in that plot is well liked or hated, whatever that is. You're attached to them for some reason, and you care to keep watching about what's going on in the story. And sometimes in movies, when they put too many of those characters in there, they end up spending less time on the plot and the important part, that is the development of the story. And I feel at the very end, I felt like they could have cut out some of the story of two of the other characters so that we could learn more about the plot and the monster.
So, yeah, I think that even comes out more of what all you said, because of the extra twists in the end. Because I wanted more of that part. Once they show something historical, that's how I am. I want to know more. I'm like, oh, I'm curious. I want to learn about these creatures, because there's always some historical research or what the directors and the writers base some of these stories on.
Yeah,
So,
because
anyway.
just like with The Devil Below, it was, it was clearly,
Subtle.
it wasn't based on that. Like, you can't say, oh, based on a true story, but it was clearly inspired by that,
Yes.
right? Because that's a real story, and they were
And a
inspired by
mystery.
that. Yeah, and a mystery. Yeah, and in this one, I mean, for every creature that's in a movie, there's always some kind of folkloric story that has some, culturally people believe in these things, that they exist, right? And so I wanted to learn more about that at the end, and that's why I was like kind of a little annoyed that they spent so much time on, like, I'm thinking of one character in particular where her part really did, there was a lot of times that they followed her around in the movie that could have been cut out.
Yeah.
And still we could have had the ending that we had, and just spent a little less time on following her around to be able to spend, even if it was a minute more, you know, on letting us understand the creature a little bit more in its natural habitat, right? Like fleshing that out a little bit more. The thing that I really loved about it, though, is at a certain point we do get to see some of that. We get to see the where it lives, and I liked that because, like, you know, we keep waiting, like we're gonna see some stuff now. We get to see the mystery kind of unfolding in front of us. So for that reason, I actually really did like this movie. Let's talk about the healing portion of this.
Yeah, the philosophical healing segment part of it. Right?
Yeah, so for the healing portion of it, clearly there was a healing message in family, because you see at the end the father and the son who are having problems and how they come together at the end. You definitely see some healing in his family happen. You see how this tragedy kind of opens the eyes to appreciate. So I think the overall healing message is about family, and how sometimes, like, you know, obviously in a trauma / tragedy that ends up occurring, that people come back to center, realizing what's important in life and that it's family. So that's a healing message in that.
Yeah, my philosophical outlook and healing picture of this movie is by accepting change, sometimes by helping others, you'll be able to help yourself in the end and find your answers of healing. That's kind of what it's about.
Okay, is that the lesson?
I think that's the greater lesson. If you're, you know, having a hard time accepting changes or hard changes in your life, sometimes being open on helping others, helping the village, you know, you will find your answers of healing yourself. Yeah.
Okay, and you know, that reminds me too that you won't understand this right now until you watch it, but there is a lesson in there about don't forget who you are. Right? It's done in a really unique way, but there is a lesson in that about don't forget your roots.
Yeah.
Right? Don't forget your roots, and don't forget who you are. You know, don't forget that you matter, that you exist.
Yeah.
Right? Don't forget that. I thought this was good. So how many screams are you going to give this one?
Good 4.
I'm going to give it a 4.5 because I was involved in it. It didn't take me out of the story. So I'm giving it 4.5 screams. So how many screams do you give it?
4.3 screams.
4.3 screams. You're copying me.
Did I say?
Because I said 4.3 with the other one.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my gosh, you guys, we did it. And aren't you happy that we do this on Fridays? Because now you can go into your weekend, watch this weekend, and enjoy your time. Thank you so much, you guys, for letting us be part of your life, letting us help build your watch list for the season or for all year round, because we like suspense, horror, and thriller all year round.
Yeah.
We intend to keep doing this. Make sure that you come back every Friday night at midnight or whatever time when you get up on Friday or the weekend. But make sure that you watch us regularly. Please like and subscribe. Leave a comment below. Let us know when you watched, how many screens you actually gave it. Do you have anything?
Or if there's any movies that you think you would want us to watch and share our other recommendations or thoughts on it, how we interpret the movie, let us know. Leave it in the comments below.
All right, you guys, thank you so much, my Spooky BAT-Talion. My Spooky BAT-Talion. Yay!
You're so
okay.
enthusiastic. You're such a good BAT-Talion representative.
Am I? Aw, give me kisses. Mwah. Okay, I love you so much. You guys, this was so fun. I am so excited to see you again next week. Let us know in the comments what you think. Until then, stay spooky. Where should they leave it? Say, leave it in the comments below. You're slouching. Move your legs.
Leave it in the comments below, Mr. Clean.
No,
Oh,
you're
okay.
good. Okay.
I'm good. She said. I can't do that.